Hi, and welcome to another session on NestedFlow automation tool. Today, we will look into how test cases can be run in parallel. Here, we have an Excel sheet which has two batches of test cases. Each batch has some test cases which are to be run in sequence. For example, this random user API test sample 4, sample 6, sample 1 to be executed in sequence, and API test sample 3, API test sample 2, and mobile Android jpetstore.xml. These test cases belong to second batch, and again these three should be run in sequence. But these two batches should be run in parallel. And note that each batch of test cases are put in Excel sheets, and each Excel sheet name is starting with batch. So this is how we store our test cases to be run in parallel. Now, to show these test cases, let us open all these test cases in batch 1 in NestedFlow automation tool. This is the random user test case. This is the API sample 4 test case. This is API sample 6 test case. And this is API sample 1 test case. For example, let us open the API test call in sample 6. You can see that these are just straightforward REST API calls that we are calling in parallel. Only test case which is not API related is this mobile test case, which is to be run on Android mobile using APM. Now, let us open the tools menu. On the ribbon, there is a sub menu called parallel testing. Import batch will allow us to select the same Excel which we looked at in the beginning. You can see all the test cases with batch ID will be displayed. When I click on execute batch, each test case in batch 1 will be run in sequence, and each test case in batch 2 will be run in sequence, but batch 1 and batch 2 will be kicked off simultaneously. You can see multiple script start windows are opening. All the API related test cases are already complete. Only the Android mobile related test case is pending, which will take some time as it is little bit more complex than API related test case. We will wait for it to complete. As you can see, all the test cases have successfully completed. Now we will go to the log file folder. Let us open all these HTML files to look at the test status. API sample 2, you can see it is success. API sample 4 also, you can see we are getting what we wanted to get. And let us open the mobile test case. You can see that it is capturing the screenshot correctly from the mobile test case. So all these test cases have successfully completed, that too in parallel. Thank you for joining this session. We will meet again in some other topic.